Yeah, g'day, Mick again. Currently in the process of building another aviary. I've got to get a wriggle on because it looks like a lot of the birds are starting to go to nest. I'm going to need some more room soon. So this has been a work in progress for the last 6 months. And so in the meantime, I've basically just put some trees and grasses in just to get it ready. Just so there's not too much of a debacle going on when I do. I should want to move the birds in and rearrange all the insides to make it all nice and sweet. So yeah, just some grasses. These grevilleas are already in here, and I like to keep them in place and build over them, which I've done with the bigger aviary as well, because it's the finches just love roosting in it, nesting in it. They'll pick a live tree over a dead tree most of the time. And they look nice out in the open flight. This will all be open. If you're going to build an aviary, it's a good idea to face it north. Reason being that the back will be closed off from the prevailing winds and storms, which generally come from the south, especially in this area. But keep that in mind when you're building your aviary. So ideally face north, so that in the morning, it's coming on mid-morning now, so you can see that there's plenty of light getting through the aviary. So you'll get morning and afternoon and late evening sunshine coming through that part of the aviary, which is beneficial for your birds as well as your plants. They particularly enjoy the sun during the winter, so as much sun you can get in your aviary, the better. When having that sheltered area, it's a good idea to keep in mind somewhere where the birds can retire, maybe even just get out of your sight. They like to be able to feel like they're unseen, and they're always watching you, so yeah, they don't miss much. So security is good for that. You've got happy birds, you're going to have good results. Stress kills, particularly in small creatures like birds. So the happier they are, the better success, and the much healthier they're going to be. I like big aviaries because fit birds are healthy birds, and they can forage for insects. It's not a bad idea even to leave a solar light. I like to leave a solar light at night so that there's a bit of light during the night, and not only does it give them, minimises like night fright where they smack into the wire because they can't see if they get spooked, but it attracts insects overnight, and that gives them something to forage for in the undergrowth during the day. But we'll talk about live food later. So yeah, I've just got to start putting the roofing on now and the mesh. And I've got to get a wriggle on. So I'll talk to you a bit later when I've done a bit more. Catch you later. Oh, beautiful seal. Key point when building an aviary, vermin proof. So public enemy number one here is snakes, particularly night tigers, or that's what we call them here. They're a tree snake, and birds are their main diet, and they come from all around. Some months when I come out here at night time with a torch, there's night tigers up and down the mesh, over the roof, always checking, looking for somewhere where they can get in to get your birds. So first thing is that 5mm mouse-proof mesh, 100% compulsory. Don't go anything else, ever. Otherwise, you'll have heartbreak. It takes one rat or one snake overnight, complete chaos, heartbreak, rage. So to avoid all that, protect your birds, keep vermin out. So snakes and mice. Mice, they get in. I don't know how, they just do. And they're not too bad. If you can bait them and keep the numbers down, they're all right. The worst they do is crap all through the seed, and every now and then they do go up and mess with nests because they're collecting things like feathers and that. So they can be a bit disruptive, but they're not going to kill your birds. Whereas a rat, well, you'll know when a rat's in your aviary because there'll be a pile of feathers in the corner or somewhere where he's been systematically killing your birds, eating them and leaving what's left there. If all your birds are disappearing and there's no sign, it's a snake. So have a good look around, check all the nest boxes, because I can guarantee you there'll be a snake coiled up in one of them with maybe 5 or 6 lumps in it. And I don't know what you choose to do with that snake, is up to you, but well. Alright, so I've got to keep going here because I've got to stay concentrated and focused to keep all these vermin out. I'll talk to you later. Just recapping what I said before. Vermin, you need a rat wall. So a lot of people like to go down 400, deepest possible, deeper the better. And at the bottom you can put crushed glass, deterrents, anything like that. Even just a little concrete platform just out from the bottom of your rat wall underground, just because you'll find the rodents will have a tendency to dig down and then follow where they've hit. So if what they're digging down to goes backwards, you'll pull them up. So they'll dig all around the aviary, but they won't get in. So that way you can minimize the depth, and as long as you've got that bit of a wall at the bottom, it'll stop them getting through. I like to go by the rule of, if my little pinky finger can't squeeze through a hole, then neither will a snake or a mouse. But I mean, I've got a little pinky finger, so keep that in mind. Even a pencil, you know, if a pencil can't push through a hole, neither can a mouse or a snake, you know, so keep that in mind. So the smallest gap, they will find it, mate. So, and you know, it can do your head in for weeks figuring out where stuff's getting in until, you know, the key is to watch your birds. Sit down, if you can find the time, sit down and watch what's going on in your aviary. Too many a time I've been sitting there and I can see suddenly a mouse pop out of a burrow near the seed dish, and I'm like, ah, here you are. And then you can concentrate on getting rid of them. Because you got to remember too, if they're getting into the aviary, snakes will follow those burrows in as well. So you've got to keep all that in mind, because your bird safety is number one. They're your responsibility. So you know, their safety is key, and you've only got yourself to blame if anything happens to them. So, but yeah, rat wall, go down as deep as you can. The other option, of course, well, that's because, you know, I do rat walls because I have an earthen floor and I want to grow plants and such. I like to go for the natural look. But of course, a lot of aviaries are concrete floors, which is fantastic. You can seal a concrete floor, you can stop vermin getting in, but at the same time, you probably still want to put a rat wall in, because then you'll have rodents living under your slab, and they'll be there, and rodents attract snakes. And if you're in an area like here and you've got rodents around, even if they're not getting in, they're going to attract things like brown snakes and things like that, which, you know, you don't want here anyway. So a lot to keep in mind, but you just got to keep that in mind when you're building your bird cage. So all right, I've yacked enough. I've really got to get more work done here, so I'll talk to you again soon.